Okay, Cub Scout leaders. Number one, once again, thank you so much for taking the time. I don't know how your last 30 days have been, but my last 30 days have been on like crazy warp speed. Every day I get up and thinking, what do I have to do today? And the list is overwhelming. So thank you so much for taking the time to come to this meeting. Like I said, I know, having one more meeting, what do I do? But thank you so much. We're going to be talking about the core value for January. Positive attitude. It was great. My wife's like, so what's going to be the theme? I said, positive attitude. After she stopped laughing for about 5 minutes, she goes, really? Who's writing it? And I'm like, what? She goes, it's not you. I'm like, yeah, it is. She's like, when do you have positive attitude? And I said, when I do scouting things. And she's like, oh, so why don't you use it anywhere else? And I had nothing. So, that would be my New Year's resolution. Okay, moving on. So, pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. Optimist sees an opportunity in every difficulty. Okay, that reminds you of the poster with the cat that says, hang in there, baby. Remember that cat poster? Especially anyone here that's over 40 years old, they were everywhere. They was in our classrooms. I remember that, we were sitting there, and as a kid you're thinking, man, that's me. But it's a true statement. If you walk into something, and I tell my boys, my Cub Scouts, and my sons this, if you walk into something and say, I cannot do this, guess what? You will not be able to do this. Now, if you come in and say, I absolutely can do this, that's not a guarantee that you can. But you give yourself a fighting chance. And that's what we're trying to teach our Cub Scouts, that positive attitude is infectious, but it also gives you the opportunity to actually succeed. It gives you that extra oomph, that edge, because you're already thinking, yeah, I can do this. That positive attitude is important. And of course, Lord Baden-Powell, he had something for everything. Happiness is not mere pleasure, nor the outcome of wealth. It's the result of active work rather than passive enjoyment of pleasure. I'm sure he said that while he was sitting in a rocking chair talking to everybody. You should work more because it's really good for you. But he's right, right? Sitting back and thinking about how, where you're at is good for a moment. But the actual putting action behind it and actually making things better, that's where the true happiness and joy comes from. The vision of the Boy Scouts. I want to put that up every time. We don't necessarily read it every time, but I put it up there because it's important that you know the vision of scouting. Because you're committing to being part of that vision. That's our mission. And the aims of Boy Scouting. Positive attitude is right in the middle of character development. You better believe it. I got this music in the background. Luckily I can't sing. Anyway, do I have anybody new? First time here tonight. One. Man, we got some timid little fingers going. It's like I'm in an auction. Okay, if you raise your hand, come up here with me for just a second. We'll do help right for a second. Nah, come to Scouts. Come up front. It's a great problem. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have you. I'm going to do it back. Okay, so always do your best to have a positive attitude and share it with those around you.
Remember to be cheerful and set your minds to look forward and find the best in all situations.
Do. Remember to do good for others with a cheerful heart.
Remember its positive attitude will make a difference in the lives of others.
Best. Remember to find the best in all situations.
Do your best. Wow! Isn't it amazing how it all works together like that? Thank you. Now, if you would just give your name and what pack you're with and what position you're in.
Beth Suddy, Pack 256, and I am the new committee chair.
Ooh, new committee chair. Very nice. Right with the recharger, all ready to go.
Oh, yes.
Don't go in.
Oh.
Dale Amdahl, Pack 905, Den leader.
Russell Green, Pack 256, is the team treasurer.
Yeah, you are the new treasurer.
Wow, that's like a voluntold. Moving on.
Tina Kampf, Den leader, needless to
You're almost done. Wow. Brand new Roundtable wins. It's that close. That's great.
Usually goes.
Yeah, there you go. Well, no, I just wanted to hang here for just a quick second because truthfully, while I thank everyone who's not new for coming, those who come for the very first time, I especially want to thank, because you never know. You're like, well, Roundtable, what is it going to give me? But taking that time to step in and then tell others makes it all more worthwhile. So thank you very much. Starting next year, I'll move back to more embarrassing things. I decided to make it a kinder, gentler year of 2012. So those of you who were new during 12, you lucked out. Okay. So, everyone knows the Cub Scout sign, right? Yeah, 2 fingers. All the way up. All the way up. Not down here, not down here, or as my boys want to do over here. It's like, that's not even the right hand. What are you doing? It's over here. Why do I say? Balance, I got all kinds of singing. This is great. If everyone please stand and please join me with the Cub Scout promise. Cub Scout sign. I, Brian Kale, promise to do my best, to do my duty to God and my country, to help other people, and to obey the law of the pack. Law of the pack? Cub Scout follows the Kale. The Cub Scout helps the pack go. The pack helps the Cub Scout grow. The Cub Scout gives goodwill. 2. You may be seated. All right, so a little while ago we had brand new visitors to Roundtable come here and actually read. Okay? These are not bad things to do with your program, whether it be in the den or in the pack. There's only a couple things to remember. Number 1, typically your boys are not the loudest of readers. It's okay to remind them, it's okay to yell, boys. I tell you what, why don't you yell? Because typically after the first boy yells it, you can't get him to stop. So that's a good thing. Also, when you do something like this, be sure to remember reading skills. Okay? These right here had a few words in it that were, dime words, quarter words. They weren't, 50-cent words, but they were a little bit more substantial. And if you have a tiger up there and you hand him a card, you have just added death to the beginning of your program. Because they're going to do their best, because they're good little boys, but they're just starting to read. And they may be sounded out, but it's not exactly what you want to do for the program. So if you're going to do something like this, you want to choose boys with the appropriate reading skills. So you're probably looking at minimum 2nd graders. Probably, if it's beginning of the year, I might go 3rd graders and above. It's the end of the year, 2nd graders maybe. But you want to make sure that you read over and you know and think through, how are the boys going to do with that skill? Now, if it's an activity, with some motions and some moving around, tigers are great for that. Matter of fact, they put forward more exuberance than most of the age groups. Just remember to keep it age appropriate so that they have fun. Why do I put the words on the screen? As I say every time, it's not a bad thing to have words up somewhere. A poster, on the screen, a handout, something. Do we want them to memorize it? Yes. Is it a bad thing if they haven't memorized it? Not really, no. It's okay. Memorization will come. The key here is that they are going to say the words and not check out during that moment. If they don't know the words and stop posting anywhere, they have completely checked out. That's best if they're mumbling along with it or just standing there, whatever. You want them to be involved because they're actually promising things, and you want them to be involved. It's also good to have this because you want your parents to say this too. Parents are like, well, I'm not a Cub Scout. No, you're a Kale. You're mentioned right here. Cub Scout follows a Kale. You got a very important role. So it's important to keep them in it too. So having it up somewhere is a great thing. It doesn't insult anybody at all, and it's not a crutch. It is a good thing. All right, so positive attitude. We are not quite halfway through the 12 points of the Cub Scout program. But, once again, you want to make sure that everything you do in Cub Scouts, no matter what it is, has at least one of these 12 in it. If it has more than one, absolutely great. 3, 4, 5, great. But at least one. Okay, it shouldn't be that hard. I mean, let's face it, positive attitude, no matter what your activity is, if you're going out with gusto and thinking, hey, I can do it, and I'm going to support you, and I'm going to say good things to you, and I'm going to try to edify you, that's positive attitude. Even if it's taking dry elbow macaroni and gluing it to a picture frame. which I hope you guys are not doing. That's the old school Cub Scouts. They want more adventure. But if they're doing it with lots of fun and positive attitude, ding ding, you got it. So make sure you've got at least one of these in everything you do. And also make sure you point out the fact that positive attitude reflects directly on a scout is cheerful. Now, I don't know if you've all seen this, but the Boy Scouts of America have decided to closer align all the different programs. The Cub Scouts are going to be moving to the Cub Scout law and oath in 2015. Boy Scout, sorry. Yeah, Cub Scout to Boy Scout in 2015. So it's not this year, it's not next year, it's the next year. So a lot of you are like, I don't care, well my boys will be Boy Scouts by then. That's good. But for those of you tigers and wolves, you'll still be, and you'll have to sort of switch over. So I think it's a good thing, truthfully. While we want it to be everything at a tiger's level or so, but I think they can understand this. These words are, a couple of these words are big words. Thrifty. I'm sure a tiger doesn't have a clue what thrifty means. I know a lot of adults who don't know what thrifty means. But we want them to learn these things because we are all promising to live by the Boy Scout law. It's the program that we're basing everything on. So we're going to be moving towards that. So even if that was not true, pointing to the boys and telling them, hey, this is what it means in Boy Scouts is great. And why? Because Cub Scouts' main #1 job is to prepare the boys and get them excited for Boy Scouts. That's its #1 job. The #2 job is to establish a good character foundation. And you're like, wait a minute, shouldn't it be the other way around? No, because if you're doing the right job of preparing them for Boy Scouts, you're already hitting the 12 points of the Boy Scout law. So you're already setting a good character foundation. And you're also in Cub Scouts establishing great family dynamics where fathers and mothers and uncles and aunts and grandparents all can come down and siblings can do it and do fun things with their kid, with their sons. That's a great deal. Boy Scouts, you're getting closer to the boys are doing more and more on their own. So this is good family time. That's what we do. But it's good to point out to where we are preparing for Boy Scouts and get your tigers excited, get your wolves excited. In only a couple of years you're going to be a Boy Scout. You get to go on camping trips and make, start your own fire. And, use knives, axes, make pointy sticks. That's what they want to do. All right, so positive attitude. I actually struggled on trying to define this because, everyone understands positive attitude, but it's hard to put words to it. It's sort of like, hey, we feel great, you feel great, we all feel great. It's not a good definition. But it's being cheerful and setting our minds to look forward and find the best in all situations. Yes, Todd?
I was wondering if I could, I'm from Wheelway Chapter.
Okay, where are the Cub Scouts? Are the Boy Scouts right downstairs? I had a feeling that was the case. I didn't want to waste your time. Always later. Okay, so absolutely everything you're doing in Cub Scouts should involve positive attitude. Absolutely. It should involve boys being there as a team with each other, not tearing each other down. It doesn't mean they're constantly, hey, that was you're the greatest thing ever, that was great, that was great. It doesn't have to be that. It means that I believe that we're going to succeed, we're all going to do our best, and if we didn't, that's okay, we can do better next time. Even that's positive attitude, right? The positive attitude is infectious. If you come in as leader, and you have had the worst day of the week, month, hopefully not your life, but along these ways, it's really hard sometimes to shake it off. But you got it. Because the boys are going to feed off what you are at that moment. I've come into many a meeting going, there is absolutely no way I'm going to get up for this meeting. And then I get in there and watch some of the boys run around and do what they're doing. And I'm like, sure I can. I'm going to be just as carefree right now as they are as they are. Having fun, running around, losing my slide every other 2 seconds, hearing ting, 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 ting on the floor, that kind of fun stuff. Just being a boy, being a fun kid. So unfortunately, leave the adult weight off your shoulders at the door. Positive attitude. We want to always be there to encourage the boys, encourage our fellow adults and the parents. Because it's important. The boys are always watching. So, how do you explain this to a boy? That could be anywhere from 6 to 11. Well, be cheerful. What's cheerful? not necessarily happy. It necessarily means, just having the positive outlook, having a, it's not gloom and doom, it's not the worst thing that's ever happened, it's not, oh, this is gonna, not doing an Eeyore, even though most kids don't do Eeyores either. They remember food, but they don't have their Eeyore. So, think good thoughts, believe in yourself, believe in others, trust your friends and family. Pretty basic things. And hopefully they're being taught this more than just Cub Scouting. Hopefully they're picking this up in their, in their homes, and hopefully in their schools. But definitely make sure it happens in Cub Scouts. Henry Ford, I love this. When everything seems to be going against you, remember, an airplane takes off against the wind. By gum, he is right. I was like, is that right? Yes, it is. They always turn into the wind to give them more lift. And I'm like, that's pretty amazing. I thought it was a great thing. Not just Lord Baden Powell's good thing. Character connections. All right, so in every single book, every single rank, Tiger all the way up to Weeblo, there's a section called character connections. You can recognize it by the little triangle here, know, commit, practice. It is so easy to blow right past that. Every single one of these ranks have requirements that have you go, discuss with your den, or discuss with your Kale, or discuss with your den leader, the following for your character connection. And I remember when first time I went through as a den leader, it's like, boys don't want to discuss this, they want to go run and do something. And you sort of lightly touch on it. I did them a disservice. And the second time through, we're not doing that. We are making sure that these boys are looking at it, because in reality, this is where the gold is. This is absolutely where the gold is. And once you start getting them to talk about things in a non-yes-no question type situation, you're planting seeds that may not grow this year or next year, but eventually will. Talk about how positive attitude can affect our lives. Better sportsmanship. All boys understand that. They all understand. And you know what? If you're having a positive attitude, your team is losing. What happens? Well, you lose. Right? But maybe do you have fun while you're doing it? Yeah. Do you feel more like congratulating the other team when they play real well and you just happen to beat your team? Yeah. Well, what else? And then they start answering. But once you prime the pump and one boy starts talking, all of them will start talking. And then you'll have a hard time moving on to the next program because they want to talk about something that sort of touches it, but it's more tangential over here. And then you got to bring them back. It's okay. Them talking, boys age 6 through 11 have so very few opportunities to truly talk to an adult without responding directly to instruction or to classroom or to something like that. To actually express what they think and have someone listen to them that's not mom or dad who has to, it's like, I really got to do something else. It's okay. It's invaluable. Take the moment. It's good for your program. It's good for the boys. All right, EDGE. EDGE is a methodology for both leadership and training that's taught at Wood Badge. It's also been adopted throughout Boy Scouts and by the boys as they're moving through the ranks in Boy Scouts, second class, first class. It's a way of actually effectively teaching others. Explain, demonstrate, guide, enable. Same thing applies with positive attitude. I can talk to you all day long about what positive attitude is. As adults, you'll probably get it. But in reality, don't you get it so much more if I'm actually living it and demonstrating it? Doesn't it go even so much further if I give you an opportunity or some type of activity to where you can put it in practice? And even better, if I happen to be there, and you're putting it into practice, and well, why don't you try this? A little guides here and there, little course corrections. And then after you've done a couple of those and I see that you're getting pretty confident in it, I just back off and let you do something on your own. And then when you're successful there, that success builds your self-confidence and the ability to actually even be able to explain and demonstrate to others. That's EDGE, and it's incredibly powerful. Think through everything you teach. How can I use EDGE in that regard? With positive attitude, obviously if I'm modeling positive attitude, I've gone a long way, and that's great. But I need to help the boys. If things are going poorly, let's say we're doing a project, we're building something. We're building catapults. I think that's fair. So we're building catapults. And these are horribly not working. It's like, it doesn't work, it's never going to work. Sure it will. Let's think it through. Well, what do you think we need to do? Well, I think this arm here needs to work better. Okay, well, if we did this, that work. And you're helping them see the positive side that it's not never going to work. You know, kids will immediately jump to the never or always type word. Very quickly. Never has a huge connotation and a real way of holding you down. Always has its own dangers too. But typically you never have a positive attitude issue with always. So it's the never then. And help them see it's not always never. There are ways to improve this. So, positive attitude also can be looked at as far as leadership. Okay, now we talked about 2 or 3 months ago about dinners. Dinners are a position for boys, Cub Scouts, in your dens for leadership. Okay, it's not, you know, not a equal to adult leader. It's more of a helper or has a little bit of boy leadership role. It's an elected position, and it can be anywhere from tigers all the way to weebloods. I know a lot of people say tigers. I've never seen dinners for tigers. It will work. The hard part is the dinners almost need to be appointed at that point because tigers don't really understand the election process. They don't seem to understand how we need to elect things. So you can just say, hey, this is going to be your week. You're going to be my dinner, and you're going to help out. You're going to sort of, you know, keep the guys and give them a line. Here, go get these supplies, these kind of things. Leadership and positive attitude go hand in hand. Okay? You know, you've got a boy that is really shy. You know, I don't really know how. I don't know what to do. I can't really do it. Give him small tasks. Success leads to success and positive attitude. A boy who is your discipline case. Give him some responsibility. All of a sudden, he has to focus on his responsibility rather than I'm going to look over here, I'm going to walk over here, I'm going to go talk. And that leads to success, which leads to positive attitude. See? That was a great job. You're a good leader. These kind of things build and help you to get the boys to see their own self. Well, here's what I can do. Okay, we talk about all day long about building kids' self-esteem. You can't build kids' self-esteem. You can provide them opportunities for success, and you can provide them safe indications of places to fail, and then so they can learn from their failures and then have success. But you can't build their self-esteem. This is it. Positive attitude, helping them see the positive, the next step to make them move closer to success. That's what we're doing. There you go. So, I thought this was a really neat activity, and you know, I've never actually done it, and this is one of those as I was reading, like, I was trying to think through the logistics, but I'll throw it out to you guys and let you think the logistics as well. What it was talking about is how a few positive words or the opinions of others, the positive opinions on others, makes a huge impact on our own, how we feel. Okay, some people would argue and say, well, that's not necessarily teaching the right thing. We shouldn't worry about what other people say. We should worry about what we think. That's a hard lesson, and some of us adults are having a hard time with that lesson too. I know I have a hard time with that lesson. But what this one was doing is you would have each one of the families bring a photograph of their son. You know, try to make it of just the son and not a huge group. Hey, he's this little dot out here. You know, where you can see the face, and then you have a series of cardstock or half sheets of some type of thicker type poster paper, and you put it on each one, and then the adults are going around throughout the meeting or whatever and writing things that they know about the boy. He's always a fast runner. You know, he has some of the best attitude. He shares really well. He always has a smile. I wish I had his energy. These kind of things, right? So at the end of the meeting, the boy has a picture of himself with all these things of what other adults have said that are very, they're edifying. That, hey, I didn't realize people saw this about me. I didn't know I'd smile all the time. These kind of things. These are and adds to the positive attitude. I thought it was a great idea. And what is presented to the boy throughout the meeting with this poster and such is something that even a tiger would treasure as far as this means a lot. So obviously part of this, and I thought that was a neat idea too, was a lot of time we all get writer's block. How can you get writer's block writing a positive, few words about a boy? Easy. I don't know. So you have posted throughout the your meeting area some examples. it's okay for an adult to go, drawing a blank. Oh, yeah. It's okay. Because ultimately, these are just firing off synapses in our own heads to go, yeah, he does smile. Or, yeah, he's a great listener. These kind of things. This is a really neat activity. And I believe that it's one of these that is going to be very powerful for a boy, and as far as, especially the boy that is sitting there going, well, I can't do this. A lot of people believe you can. Sometimes you have to borrow other people's positive attitude, and that's okay. It's like grafting a piece of a plant. You take a piece of plant, you put it in a little water until it grows its own roots, and you put it in soil, and then it turns into its own plant and produces fruit. Right? It's okay. All right, so Pinewood Derby. It's coming up. You guys start planning yet? Okay. You got a place? Hopefully, yeah. Kids got their kits yet? Hopefully, yeah. Because Christmas break, holiday, winter break is by far the best time for the parents to struggle over that block of wood. You need to give them a couple weeks to figure out, A, what does the boy want the car to look like? B, to then convince the boy that there's no way on the earth that you can build what he wants it to look like. And then to cut it, sand it, paint it, work on the wheels. Give him some time, but make sure you plan. Make sure that the rules are out early, very early. We need to get the rules out for the district one that's coming out. We'll put it out on the website here coming out very soon. You can borrow those as well because tomorrow sounds like a great plan. They're going to be the same ones as last year because they worked well. It's important because if your pack follows rules that at least match up with the district, even if or more stringent, that way the district has a speed race for those your winners in your pack and go on to the district competition. Obviously, if your pack meets at least those rule sets, it's an easy switch. If your pack has totally different rules that are a lot less stringent, and we'd hate to have to DQ a kid because of it.
Done.
Done. Oh my goodness, that's crazy talk. I like that. That was good.
Undercuts.
It's always good too to make sure you've checked your families, see if anyone's having trouble or anyone's sort of got a little anxiety about building a car, especially those that this is their first year. There are some that are very wood and tool challenged. It's okay. Not everybody knows their way around. That's okay. Truthfully though, even if it's a block of wood with the wheels stuck on it, it still races pretty well. But no one believes that. So they put this pressure on themselves. It should be fun. And it should be the boys working on it as much as possible. Tiger comes in there and this car is like titanium. Like, whoa, that's a great looking car. Did you break that? Did you get to do anything? Make sure you encourage your families. It's not how good the car was. It's how much fun and how much laughter did you have with your son as you built it. And it doesn't matter how fast it is. Did your son look back and say, that was a great activity? That's a win. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to give a shout out to the district. The district Pinewood Derby was awesome last year.
Steve
and
Wilson did an amazing job of putting
kids-
together and getting a Chick-fil-A as sponsor and such, and
Yeah.
Cruise 7070, I do believe, was the sponsor. And they're going to be the same group this year. Looking forward to a great.
It was really, we tried to really promote it in our pack, but I would really highly suggest that you all promote it in your packs because it was something really for them to strive for. It was really great.
And I've got a nugget on that. Not only has it been scheduled, they have a location, it's all up on the website, but you can register for it even before you figure out who the winners are. And technically, you don't have to be the winners to go to attend. Sisters are allowed to go, brothers are allowed to go. Show up, you have a good time.
Everybody has a good time. We are, obviously the district wants that kind of feedback, and we've struggled. It's had positive years and negative years, and last year was a great year. Steve Wilson is to thank for that. Did a great job. So be sure to put it on your calendar. March 9th, if I remember correctly, is today. That sounds like.
Do you know where? Yes.
Hey, man. My mind's a steel trap tonight. Crazy time.
Let's see, the answer is, give me 2 minutes, keep going.
Okay. Remember, encourage sportsmanship, positive attitude. Encourage, they should be encouraging each other to do their best. It's not about winning. Sure seems like it, but it's not about winning. That's the most valuable lesson we can teach from Pinewood Derby. It's not about winning.
March 9th
Culver.
and 12th.
Yep.
How do you do?
Crazy time. So, you guys use your Pinewood Derby as a recruiting tool? Yeah? No? Yeah. It is a great opportunity as a recruiting tool. You can do pretty much anything you want, from, hey, invite your friend, the friends to come on, to maybe you have a non-Cub Scout race in between the beginning and the finals. We have a powder puff race in my pack, where anyone, it's open rules, can come and race a car. Maybe you have some cars already made that are there for when those friends want to go up there and cheer on their car. Have an opportunity to invite as many boys as possible. Maybe you have something like a little Chotsky or giveaway for those boys who come. You want them to see the fun of Cub Scouting. Pinewood Derby is like paramount right there. That and camping are the two things that everybody puts together for Cub Scouting. Use it as an opportunity. Have your boys invite a friend.
I have a question. We have some like lower income housing in Percival, and I was kind of thinking about it, like doing a recruiting type thing for those children, those boys. Is there any funds available, like in the district, for disadvantaged youth that we could maybe get the Pinewood Derby kids?
There is none that I'm aware of, but you know what? If we put a word out, I'm sure some would magically appear. It would just be a matter of us letting know. I know, like for instance, in my pack, we commit there's absolutely no reason whatsoever that a boy cannot be a Cub Scout or not enjoy Cub Scout product because of either because of money or situations like that. We'll uniform them. We'll waive their registration. We'll do whatever it takes because we want the boys there because it's important. There are a lot of units and a lot of adults throughout our district who believe the same thing. I'm not sure what the district has as far as budget-wise because that's outside my purview, but I'm sure that with the right word out, we can probably figure it out.
Something can fall off of the truck.
I'm sure. You know a guy. But no, seriously, I believe so. So it's a matter of we just need to have enough time to get something and see what we can find out. Heck, I'm willing to bet even some of our corporate sponsors, especially like our local Leesburg Chick-fil-A, would be might step forward too. They have been incredibly supportive of Scouting, and we are very pleased and very thankful for it. How about your blue and gold? That's February-ish. Most people have it in February. I know a couple have it in March. I don't know anyone who has it in January. Anybody have it in January? No? Typically most have it in February. Why? Because it's the birthday of Scouting. And also Lord Baden Powell's birthday. Alright? And Scout Sunday. Scout Sabbath. There's a lot of stuff right there in the shortest month of the year. The blue and gold. Okay. There's usually a lot of stress when you hear those words, especially if all of a sudden you're on the hook to put it together. Why? Because you take on too much of yourself. The blue and gold is a party. And the family that's hosting this party is your entire pack. Not just you. Not just you and one other person. Look to everyone in your pack about how can they help make it a great event. Because it's for everybody. It's not to see, well, who can throw the biggest shindig. It's who can have the most fun for their boys and put on the best program. Make it special. Most people use it in place of their February pack meeting. We're that group too. We don't have a pack meeting in February. We just have blue and gold. We struggle with keeping it under a time limit because it tends to drag on, and the siblings are talking, and the parents are getting discouraged because the little kids are under the tables, or it just gets, another award. Do we have to listen to this again? Make it special, but pay attention to people's time. Last year, we did face painting by age group, trying to speed it up a little bit. And truthfully, we also painted some of the siblings' faces, which kept them interested too. These kind of things are obvious. If you're gonna have entertainment, know that the entertainment during your meal is probably a really bad idea. You're like, but it saves time. No one can pay attention because every parent's there cutting meat or cutting something for their kids. Right? Yeah. Work it through, think it through, make it fun for everyone. Think through who your attendees are going to be. Right? But find ways also to highlight things for the boys. If you can have more and more boys at the forefront doing things, so much the better. I have fallen down on this way too often in the fact that blue and gold, because I've been thinking I've got to keep things on a time schedule, time, that I can't integrate boys into the program. That's a mistake and it's short-sighted by me. Because in reality, it's always about the boys. And if we can have boys up front doing things, so much the better. You're like, yeah, but the things, they don't have their good timing and they don't talk very loud and such. Make arrangements. Fix it. PA system. Make it something that they're doing things that's more physical activity than talking. Things that fit within their skills. Don't have your tigers up there talking through a long script. Right? Have them engaged. You know, videos, years in review video, always a favorite. My pack loves them. It's 5-6 minutes with some music. It's the only time of quiet throughout the entire blue and gold right there. Even through anything, that's the only time of quiet. Have your kids bring in their work or things they've done, pictures, bring in posters of some of the Go See It the Tigers did, or crafts or things they've done. Special speakers are okay. Just make sure they're interesting and not really long. Food. Food is not a requirement for a blue and gold. Absolutely not. If your pack gets overly stressed with trying to do it through a meal, or you think it elongates it too much, go to a light cake or a cupcake or just something small, or nothing. It's okay. The object, though, is to make it a celebration. It is a year celebration. Okay? And everybody should be in uniform. And it's okay to have, maybe a uniform inspection for the blue and gold, just so that everyone sees that we want to look our best. This is a party to celebrate our year, to look our very best. Here's the key, though. Make it special. Invite all family members to attend. Find ways for the boys to be in the spotlight. This picture right here is my pack. That year we had 215 people in attendance. Oh my goodness, that was a hard one. Because we had every boy and their parents and some grandparents and some siblings, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was a cacophony. It's like the longest meeting of my life. This one will never end. But you know what? We focused on it, and the boys had a good time. The parents later on go, can you make it shorter? I tried. But you always have that. Have you highlighted maybe some service projects? Talked about the impact to your community? Recognizing some leaders and what they did. This is a great opportunity to recognize adults that are always toiling in the background. Make sure you thank them in front of the boys. Why? Because the boys need to see that it's important to thank people when they actually perform a service. They need to see that no matter how small the act, that is the right thing to do to recognize someone and thank you so much for your time and effort. And be specific with your thank yous too. Say, hey, let's thank Mr. So-and-so for a great time. No, be specific. And the reason you're being specific is you're also teaching the boys that by knowing what the person did, you can show greater gratitude for what they did. Not just, hey, thank them for the great job. Okay, we can all say that. And it's better than nothing, but it's not as good as it should be. It's just like when you have your kids write thank you notes to grandma for Christmas presents or something like that. Thanks for the presents. No. Tell them what you got. Thanks for the money. What are you going to buy with the money? Oh, thanks for the money. I'm going to buy. And they're grumbling the whole time like, we can have no presents. It's like, work it out. But centerpieces, fun things. This year it was a a block of wood with balloons that just held up. Wow, nothing to that centerpiece, right? Some years it's been pictures, all over the place. Some years it was, each den was, a theme was building something. I remember one year I went to a pack, I was doing friends of scouting, and they had best Chinese pagodas, I think it was. Because I think that year was Chinese New Year was the theme. And they were really neat centerpieces. Cool stuff. Fun. How many of you guys do parent pins? Good, good. How do parent pins hook into positive attitude? You're like, I don't know, it seems like a far stretch. No. Parent pins are an opportunity for the board to recognize the parent's role. Okay, every time I give an award, I make sure that we're reminding the boys that they could not have done it alone without their father or mother or their guardian, whomever, there to help them along the way, or at least give them the opportunity to do the activity, to have taken them to where the meeting was, those kind of things. It's also an opportunity to have a positive attitude in the fact that my family is supporting me. I can do a lot of things with the support. It allows them to be thankful. And it allows the, truthfully, I think parents, a lot of parents, I don't want to admit it, but it means a lot to them too. It's a minimal expense, but make sure before, if you have not started these things and you're going to, make sure you talk over as a committee, what does it mean expense-wise? Okay? Each one of these is $1.29. Ultimately, you're giving only one of these a year with the exception of the Bobcat. The Bobcat is going to happen the very first year. So one year you may have two, but typically it's one. So if you take the number of boys, multiply it by $1.29, is it going to hurt your budget? Make sure you know. All right. I did this presentation last year on Lost Boys after a horrific 15 minutes of my life after the Christmas parade last year. And I'm going to do it again because it's that important. Last year, got to the end of the parade, Leesburg Parade, had a great time. Life was good. And I'm taking apart our float. Another leader, this parent comes up and I'm like, "Where's Johnny?" "Sorry?" Like, "What do you mean? There are no kids there. The only kid there is my son, and who's sitting over there sort of not doing anything, even though I've asked him a dozen times to do something. He's the only one there," and I'm like, "Johnny, what do you mean?" "Well, we told him we would meet at the end of the parade." "Sorry?" 15 minutes. It was the absolute worst 15 minutes I probably had this decade. Because all of a sudden, I've got a boy, I don't know where he is, there are thousands of people milling around. I don't know what he's wearing, other than a Cub Scout uniform. Ooh, that's going to narrow it down for me. And I have no idea where we lost him. I don't know where to go back to look for him. Boom, immediately, Leesburg cop, "Come here! We've got a boy lost. Here's what's going on." We're running around everywhere. And it was absolutely terrifying. Parents, hysterical. Justifiably. Leaders, we were just like, we were all over the place. We made a lot of major mistakes that year that we will never make again. And I want to make sure I pass along this lessons learned to you. The biggest problem we had right there is we did not know we had a boy that did not have a parent with us. Typically, parents are always with us. But for the parade, okay, fine. If you don't want to walk the parade, it's fine. But I need to know you're not walking the parade. I need to look at your son, see what he looks like, and know that you're not there. And I need to then tell another leader, "You see this boy here? His parent is not here." Got it? Got it. 2 people. No. That was our biggest problem. And problem number 2 is I didn't have all my leaders' cell phone numbers. I thought I did. I didn't. Horrible mistake. The boy ended up being with his den leader, walking back to where the cars were at the very beginning of the parade route. And luckily, eventually, through tons of calls here and there and yonder, we finally get in touch with him like, "Do you know where Johnny is?" "Yeah, I got him." Oh! It was like, hallelujah. There it was. But because I did not have every single den leader's telephone number, it took us 15 minutes to get to that point. The parents also need to have the den leader's phone number. That's, it should go without saying. They should really want to have that, hey, we're running late, or I'm going to come pick them early, or something's happening, or there's always going to be something happening. They should always have that. Multiple leaders advise when a scout is without a parent. And the parents need to advise a leader when picking up a scout, even if they've been with you the entire time. And this year, every single parent, before they took their scout, looked at me in the eye and says, I got so-and-so. Got it. Every single one of them. Even if they had walked with me the entire parade route. I'm taking Dominic. Thank you so much for telling me. I got it. Have a great weekend. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Every single one of them. Important. Multiple leaders advise if a scout is going to be is going to be there without is going to be picked up by somebody else. That's huge. And this one's a big one too, especially in today's world. If someone other than the parent or guardian is going to pick up that child, you need to know. You need to have express permission given by the parent or guardian that this is okay. If you remember in your the medical forms that you fill out, the A, B, and C sections, one of the sections actually says, is there people that can pick up my child from a camp or whatever? And there's also a section that says, are there people who absolutely cannot pick up my child from such and such? You need to know these things. This is big. Safety is always the number one thing. I don't ever want to ever wish upon any of you even a small portion of the terror I felt that day. And so I will never make those mistakes again. All right, lighter stuff now. Popcorn. It's almost over, right? I'm betting that almost all of you have your popcorn now. The final delivery was made, right? Hopefully it's in the boys' hands and they're passing it out to everyone. Hopefully you've suggested to them they should write a little thank you note. Thank you so much for buying popcorn and supporting our pack. The final payment's due in a couple weeks. And the Trails and prize formers is due for April. I just want to get those dates out there because they go by really fast, especially with holidays coming up. It's real simple to let that go right by. But this is the important way to close the books. Friends of Scouting. We talked about this for just a quick moment, just a little while ago, at the very beginning. Cub Scouts, this is very important. A lot of families do not know what Friends of Scouting is. In a nutshell, Friends of Scouting is the difference that's necessary to keep a great program running in this council. The dues go to your unit, and a section goes to national and insurance. The rest of it doesn't go to council. Council takes nothing of dues. Okay? Friends of Scouting pays for things like the background checks that are necessary, the upkeep of the camps. You go, well, we already paid money to go to the camps. It doesn't cover all the costs. These are the things that allow us to do great programs and keep things moving along. That's what Friends of Scouting is. It's a tough call. Sometimes you're like, oh, I hate asking my parents for more money. You're not asking them for more money. You're asking them to help support a program that they obviously believe in by putting their sons in the program. Now, I'm not saying that if you don't put in X amount of dollars, you don't believe. But what we are asking is making sure, express to them that even if the answer is, I don't have anything now, a pledge card with $0 is okay. Just saying, I support Scouting. Obviously, we prefer if there's $1 or $5 or whatever. But it's all about supporting Scouting. Just make sure your families are educated about what it is. Because it's very easy to go, oh, I'm getting nickel and dime by everybody. Everybody's asking me for money. True. Do they know what it's for? Do they understand the impact of what the money that they put in? The discussion on, does the district have money to help out underrepresented? The council puts together scholarships for those who can't afford camperships. Friends of Scouting. Boys who can't afford to, scouting components, Friends of Scouting. These are what we do. We support others. We help other people in our community. Arrow of Light recognition. March 7th, that's like 1,000,000 years from now. Why am I telling you? Because it's something good to have on the calendar now. And here's why. A lot of your Weeblo 2s, just by tradition, crossover and out of your pack around the blue and gold time, right? That's what ours always used to do. As of last year, we stopped that tradition. They stayed till March, so we don't add yet more to the blue and gold. On March 7th, the Order of the Arrow will put on an amazing recognition ceremony for those who earn their Arrow Light. It's not the time for them to actually get their Arrow Light badge. That you get with your pack, and you should make it special. But it is a chance for them in their Indian regalia, the dance team of 9 yards, to make it a really cool ceremony to recognize Cub Scouting's highest award. And I want to make sure I put it on everybody's calendar, March 7th. 2013? Yeah, 2013. Good pay, Bob. Yeah, 2013. 2013. It's a great event. Highly recommend all the Weeblo 2s that earn their light go. There's no cost. Great. But there is a request to RSVP because they need to know how many patches to order, those kind of things. So put it on your calendar. Let your Weeblo 2 leaders know. It's a great thing to occur and to experience. More information will be coming out soon, including registration, how to register. But I just want to make sure people got it on their calendars. All right, so. We did scouting for food last month. Why are you bringing it up again? Because they are hungry in Loudoun County. There are people in need in Loudoun County. What is our job as scout leaders? To teach character to our boys, right? Character is based on looking out for others as well. Look for ways to get your boys involved doing other service problems. Other things that they can do to help other people at all times. Coat drives, charity rummage sales, food drives, something. Find and make sure it's not something just the parents not reaching into their pocket and handing you $1. It's something the boys are doing. Something that's an activity for them to see and put action behind, help other people. Okay? It's about their action, no matter how small. How many of you guys have heard of Backpack Buddies? Good, good. In fact, there's a sign right there. This church has got is one of the locations for Backpack Buddies storage. Backpack Buddies is an amazing program. I actually did not know about this before about 2 months ago. And the whole purpose is that a lot of children, and I think the number right now is over 1,500 in Loudoun County, the only good meals they get, yes sir?
15,000.
15,000, I was by order of magnitude, holy moly. 15,000 children in Loudoun County, their best meals are the meals they get through school. On weekends, they struggle to get good nutritional food in one of the richest counties in the nation. We can draw more up now. So, Backpack Buddies is striving to change that. It is taking donations of the type of foods that these children can prepare themselves. Not, like here's a box of stovetop stuffing. No, it's things that are more individual size that require very little prep, or something that a child could prep. And they're putting together backpacks that these children are taking home over the weekend so they have nutritious meals. Then on Monday they bring the backpack back, it's restocked, and the next weekend, next weekend. So that they are getting nutritious meals throughout the weekend. It is amazing to me that this is necessary in this county. But I am never so pleased that it's being done, and I'm ever so pleased that the people doing it are so dedicated. My pack has decided that we're going to stuff the heck out of Francis Hazel Reed's box every month. Our pack meeting will have a theme of the month. This food type you're going to bring. And next month we'll figure out what that pantry needs, and they'll say, hey, we need raviolis. You got it. Boom. We're going to stuff it. We're going to load them up. The object here, have the boys involved with the shopping for them. My meetings are all going to take the stuff and we're going to walk down to the boxes and they're going to put it in there. It's not going to be, well, cut to the meeting. Hey, that was great, guys. Each in. Be part of the action. This meal right here is for a child that could be sitting next to you in class. Put action behind what we believe in. Give opportunities for the boys to do that. Here's a list of the kind of foods that are needed. Yes?
I was going to mention the Facebook page.
Yeah. I'll let you do that in just a second too, because probably know more about that. I just found that last night.
My wife and I actually run this.
Good. You wanna give us 30 to 60 seconds?
My wife is better at it. I'm more of the technical guy. But yes, the Facebook page is facebook.com/backpackbuddies for LCPS. It started out for just Loudoun County Public Schools. We have, last count, all the Leesburg schools are participating in the program. If you go to the Facebook page, we just posted up which churches are supporting which schools. We have a group, L2F in Ashburn. They're supporting 7 schools right now. I think United Methodist is supporting 2 or 3. But we're always looking for help. As a matter of fact, we're looking for a couple of schools right now, or a couple of organizations. Long and Foster supports a school right now. We have 3 schools that need assistance. So please check out the Facebook page for more updates.
It's a simple concept, but it has a lot of power to it. Okay, and there are so many needs in our community. Now, this was a huge one, but there are also other needs. Find the one that fits the personality of your pack, that the parents and the boys can get behind and put action behind it. Give them an opportunity to help other people. To be positive about the fact that I will make a difference today and every day. And will make all the difference to them later in knowing that I made that difference. This is a great one. There are, whether, even if it's just something as simple as collecting food for Interfaith Relief's food pantry. Maybe it's a coat drive. Maybe it's a blanket drive. Maybe it's finding, whatever. There's something out there. There are so many needs. Find the one that fits you. Step into the gap. All right, summer camp. Holy cow, how far in advance are we going to talk about stuff? Well, apparently summer camp. Why do I say that? Because whether you realize it or not, over the holiday break, most of your parents will start sitting down and start planning their summers. Gosh, doesn't that make you sick? I can barely keep up with what I'm doing this month. I can't plan for the summer. Well, you need to. Because you need to get on their calendar. Because you really should want to try to get as many of your boys to a camp. Whether it be day camp, twilight camp here in Loudoun County, which is run very well and is a great program. Dave, wave your hand. Dave Cardi. Or whether it be camp at Camp Snyder, whether it be Webelos at Goshen. There are lots of opportunities. But you need to get them on the calendar as soon as possible. You need to start planning now. Get a summer camp coordinator to start talking it up and start gathering things together. Not only because they need to get on their calendar, but they can save tons of money by getting it in their mind. Take a look at this. Registration before April 16th is $165. Registration at May 17th, which is close to the last minute, is $40 more. I don't know about you, but I don't leave $40 leaving on the ground, just sitting on the ground. If they can plan just a little bit in advance, it's so much easier for you as leaders. And they know what they're going to be doing, and maybe you could actually craft your program a little bit to leverage even more what they're going to do at camp. It's crazy talk. A little bit of planning goes a long way here. So, put this out in front of your parents. Yes?
Who can go to camp?
Who can go to camp?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds like a trick question.
It is a trick question.
Goshen, it's only Webelos.
What about day camp?
Day camp can be anybody, including siblings.
What about upcoming tigers?
Absolutely.
They don't have to be tigers today.
No, they don't have to be today. Matter of fact, anytime any kindergartners of today can go to day camp because they will have officially graduated to first grade at the end of the school year.
Great recruiting opportunity.
Yep, absolutely. And maybe they don't have a lot of time. The Twilight Camp is unique to this district, and it is a lot of fun. All the shooting you can do. Shoot, 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 shoot. Boys want to do it. All right, what time is it now?
8:41.
Hey, that's not bad. We haven't had a breakout in a long time. Here's why, and we're going to have one today. The problem I have a lot of times with the breakouts is, okay, so I seed you with an idea, but am I limiting you in what you want to talk about this kind of thing? once again, I put out some general suggestions. And I believe that one of the most valuable things about Roundtable is the interaction of the leaders to other leaders. The ones who sometimes have been there, done that, some, I'm thinking about this, what do you think? To the, hey, I'm your neighbor type situation. I'm thinking no more than 15 minutes. Getting together by groups here. The reason I put a couple of these up here, we below leaders. You really should be looking, even if you're we below, looking at troop visits. It's never too early for your families to start going to Boy Scout troops and start understanding what Boy Scouting is. Most Cub Scout families have absolutely no idea how a Boy Scout troop works. And they're very confused, and they don't necessarily make the right decision on where their boy fits in best. Okay? Then leaders, tiger, wolf, bear. A lot of packs move towards getting your ranks done by blue and gold, right? Because you can have the ranks out there as part of your big celebration. Well, then what do? You've been working so hard on all the requirements, like, that's great. Got nothing. What do? It's important to start thinking through and start planning your program as far as what other enriching activities are you going to do. You know, yeah, we're not working on a rank anymore, but that doesn't mean we can't go through a theme or a program that adds to the experience the boys have. Maybe it's using some of the electives at the end of the book, maybe it's not, maybe it's special other activities out there that teach better citizenship or whatever. You need to have a plan, because choosing to go month by month will stress you out. And as the year is moving on towards the very end of the year, there's enough things that stresses out, we don't need to add that to it. And then finally, for Cub Masters and pack leaders, you know, I always challenge everyone, we have an easy opportunity, you know, we easily fall back into being the Ziploc bag award group. What are other ways to do it? Keep the boys interested. Put on great, entertaining pack meetings. Have you got a succession plan? Yeah, I can guarantee almost nobody has a succession plan. Scouting, we're really bad at that. Doesn't mean we want you to leave, that doesn't mean we want you to quit, but you need to have it in the background because it takes away the stress. And that's the responsibility of Cub Masters and pack leaders to sort of look at the big picture. How is the health of our pack? Also, a good thing to talk about would be 2013's Journey to Excellence. The requirements have slightly changed again. They've gotten a little more stringent, a little more, they're trying to help you build a better and better program. Have you looked down, do you know what's going on? How is each pack looking at them? These are great opportunities. So, it is 3 minutes, let's see, 18 till the top of the hour. Let's go to 5 till, and then we've got just a couple slides and we're done. So I can get you guys out of here in a decent time. So, I tell you what, if I can have my den leaders over here, my pack leaders back there, and my Wigglows right here, I think that's probably the best way. And we'll go just for a few minutes. Friday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Okay, coming up in February. Another thing to put on your calendar. February 23rd, University of Scouting. How many of you guys went to powwow? Yeah. Good, good. University of Scouting is a lot like that, except it's open to all programs, not just Cub Scouters. Great opportunity for a ton of different courses. Some of the courses that were offered last year are up here. There will be even more offered this year, newer ones, different ones. The fun part about this, let's say you're a Weeblos leader, you can go take scouting courses if you want to prepare for things that are coming up there. There are also elective courses that teach you things about certain types of camping gear or methodologies or things that are not specifically Cub Scout, but are really neat things to know. There are plenty of Cub Scout programs. Just want to make sure everybody sees the dates so they can put it on their calendar. Once again, a great, not to be missed event. Don't forget, keep up with your knots. Try to get someone in your pack monitoring it, keeping up with it. Keeping up with training. If you don't have a pack trainer, look to see if you can cut loose one of your committee or somebody to take that role. Pack trainer is very, very important. They were like, well, they're not really doing training. No, but they are keeping up with, are you where you need to be in your training? Are you getting the necessary information? There are things that are coming up. There are always things coming down the pipe that are interesting to know and important for your program. That's the pack trainer's job. And it's good to have one person that's their focus. And they keep up with knots, which are a great opportunity to say thank you to the leaders who've put in blood, sweat, and tears into the program. Great opportunity. Wood badge coming up. We're now registering for the spring 2013 course. It is going to be a great course. Staff developments are underway right now. Matter of fact, there will be a staff development on this Saturday. The staff gets together for hundreds of hours to become a high-performing team. It is an amazing program. For those who do not know what Wood Badge is, it is not a course for just those who've been in scouting for a million years. It is a course for anyone who's fully trained in your position, which most likely is all of you, because you're supposed to be within a few months. It uses scouting as a vehicle to teach edge and other leadership skills. And these skills are absolutely, positively applicable to every aspect of your life. It is a great course. You develop great friends. The friends I developed at Wood Badge are some of my very closest ones, and I talk and we bounce things off each other all the time. It's a great resource. If you want more information on that, look for someone with beads or look for someone with a taupe neckerchief. They will talk your ear off about Wood Badge. There's also information back there. I've got brochures. Registration's being taken down. And also there's another course in the fall if the spring course doesn't fit your needs. Parking lot. Parking lot's right over there. Parking lot is for anything that comes to mind you want to, hey, can we do this? Can we stop doing this? Can you go find me an answer for this? I'd like to publicize this across the district. These kind of things. It's a great opportunity to put down communication. A lot of communication, a lot of questions and stuff happen at the end of the meeting. Sometimes I remember to do something, sometimes I don't. I do my best, but my memory is not as good as it used to be. Parking lot's a lot better than my memory is. It's also a great time for us to use it sort of like a stop, start, continue. So that way I get a feedback from you guys on what exactly you want to see coming forward. If there's something on your mind, we'd love to see more about this, I can incorporate it. That tells me great things. Upcoming events. Nothing really exciting here, that's, except try to do something with your pack as far as for Scout Sunday, Scout Saturday. Start planning now. Most packs, they don't do a whole lot with that. Use this opportunity this year to change that. Make a Scout is reverent. It's one of the 12 points of the Scout law. It gives a great opportunity for us to incorporate that into the character that we're developing with our boys. Use stop, start, continue in your packs. Use it in your committee. Use it with your leaders. I've even used it with my boys. It is a great opportunity to take a moment at the end of an activity and say, what should we start doing that'll make it better? What should we stop doing, because it's interfering with our programs? And it's even important, people are like, what about the continue? The continuing is boring. It's important to actually be able to articulate what we did do so that we can determine whether or not that truly is making a difference. All right, just 1 quick minute. So positive attitude. How many of you know this guy? Yes. Every boy knows Minecraft. Holy moly, my boys are obsessed with Minecraft. As you can tell by the fact that I made not 1, but 3 of these. Yes, look at all the work. Hours upon hours upon hours. So they can run around pretending they are, a 64-bit character. Making what does that have to do with positive attitude? Do you know that when boys, or any kid, or I guess adult for that matter, is in Minecraft, they believe there is nothing they can't do? My boys will build, say, I'm going to build a castle that's 5,000 gajillion feet tall. Okay. And they go out, they do it. They believe that I'm going to go out and fight the creeper, which apparently is this bad guy that runs through it. I'm not, you can tell I don't play. And they go, and I can beat him. Okay. And there was a pumpkin guy chasing him at 1.2, and I'm not sure I understand that either. But everything they do with this game, they're absolutely positive that they are going to win. They're going to do great things. They're going to build amazing castles and houses, and they're going to go out and eat chickens and all kinds of crazy, whatever they're doing, but they believe in everything they do. It's just a game, but they believe in everything. We have an opportunity as scout leaders to instill with them with the same belief in everything they do in real life. Scouting is the one organization and one activity where it's okay to fail. It's not a fatal thing. It's not, oh, you're now useless. Hey, it didn't work that time. What can we change? What do you think? We're working together as a team. We want everyone to succeed. We don't want everyone to succeed in the way of, well, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. No, we want everyone to succeed and have a set of skills that they can then use for the rest of their life. Whether it be character, or whether it be self-reliance, or whether it be some other skill as simple as putting up a tent. We're teaching them skills that last and giving them a positive attitude that, yes, I can do this, and not only can I do this, but I can help somebody else do it too. Don't forget, that's our job. Keep a positive attitude, even though it's sometimes hard. Sometimes really easy to, I guess a creeper's been beating on us. I even had to make one of these. I'm not even sure what that is. So, yeah, big guy, there you go. Somebody's just waiting.
Wire.com cited that in like 7 or 10 other video games as being games that will encourage children to be engineers later in life, so.
I can believe it. Use everything at your disposal, at your disposal to have the boys have a positive attitude. Give them opportunities. They will grow immensely. Facebook, we've still got a Cub Scout Facebook, Goose Creek Cub Scout, Goose Creek District Cub Scout Roundtable, and also Goose Creek District. A lot of times the same thing is posted to both, but I do try to keep specifically Cub Scout things on the Roundtable one too, in addition. So, at the very, as Cub Scout leaders, this one is definitely one you should go to, and that one is good as a secondary one, depending on how many things you are controlling on your liking. I don't know. But anything you have to put on there yourself, let me know. Or put it on there. They're both open. I moderate them to make sure that they are appropriate. But put things on them. That's what they're for. And lastly, have a great holiday.
Mr. Kale.
Mr. Sarah.
I came in late. Did you talk about letters?
I did not talk about letters. Can you take 30 seconds or so to talk about it?
30 seconds.
Go.
9-year-old Gabriella of Loudoun County leaves as inoperable brain cancer. This is her last Christmas. Her family was sent to Paris by Make-A-Wish Foundation. She's spending her holiday trying to pay them back. She's organizing a letter-writing campaign. On the 23rd of December, she is going to travel to New York City and give 10,000 letters to Santa at Macy's. Because Macy's has said if they receive 1 million letters, they will make a $1 million donation. So, what do you got to do? Write a letter. Doesn't need a stamp. Put it in an envelope. You can turn it in any school, and they'll get it to the right place. There's a letter writing party this Saturday with Gabriella in Ashburn, 10 to noon. You can do it at PAC meetings. You can do it at DEN meetings. Give it to anybody with silver tabs between now and the 23rd, and they'll get up north. The way to make a difference. The kids are enthused about it. It doesn't cost anything. We're going to do it as a gathering activity next week.
And who else can come up with a better encapsulation of positive attitude?
Okay?
Do you know where in Ashburn this weekend?
Not only is it posted on the Goose Creek website, speak with me in 2 seconds and I'll tell you, it's 44675 Cape Court Road.
That's impressive. You just made that up.
It's next to my house.
Oh, okay, about that. That's pretty impressive.
But that's all I got. If you got any more questions on it, see me and I'll...
All right, so be safe. Have a good holiday. Be with your family. Enjoy it. Touch base with your all your Cub Scout families. Make sure they're all okay too. It's very simple. It's a very simple thing, and you're like, well, why wouldn't they be? You never know. Get to know your families. Make sure that we help other people all the time. Thank you so much for coming. If you do me a favor of hanging up the chairs, I guess it's on this little hanger thing, I really appreciate it. It'll save me some work. And I'll see you guys next year. Woo!